Alright, back to a solo stream. Something different that isn't Turbo Overkill because I want this to actually run. And I have been in quite the F-Zero mood lately for the past couple weeks. Kind of going back to all the other games, not just checking it with F-Zero 99 and, getting some fun out of that. So let's play an F-Zero game that most people probably will never have the opportunity to play or the resourcefulness to make it happen, but I do. This is F-Zero AX, the companion game to F-Zero GX. And it's the actual arcade game, not whatever the hell people claim F-Zero AX is that you can supposedly access on GX through like Action Replay. That is not the same. That's just using leftover AX assets to reconstruct the front end to look like the arcade game, but it's still using GX's physics. Because, like that last part's important, because this game plays a little bit different. Just gotta go through the calibration. Making sure. Yeah, that's about good. All right. Here we go. AX. Where to start on this one? Well, I guess like the main thing that should be explained as far as how I'm playing this, if you have a Wii or a Wii U and you have the Wii homebrew app Nintendo, which is primarily used for loading GameCube games, you can use it to load Triforce arcade games, which was an arcade board, much like how the Naomi arcade board was very similar to the Dreamcast, but like slightly more juiced up. Triforce is basically that, but for the GameCube. So naturally, with the increased power that even the Wii has over the base GameCube, stuff like this is possible. Although, if you don't have a Wii or a Wii U and you don't feel like going down the homebrew modding route, earlier this year, there actually has been a fork of Dolphin that has now been made able to finally play this game perfectly, so you can actually emulate it on PC. I'm not playing that version because whether you play it on Nintendo or on that version of Dolphin, your controls are going to be automatically mapped to like your gamepad of choice kind of arbitrarily. And I'm more used to how it's set up here on Nintendo, because using a GameCube controller, it just maps all of the functions to the default controls you would have on GX. Whereas on Dolphin, I believe it maps accelerate and brake to your to the analog triggers. Because in the arcade game, the pedals are analog and your strafe inputs are digital, which is like the opposite of how it is in GX. But this game overall is like, best I can describe it is like, it may look like GX, it has like all the assets and whatnot, but this is a much looser game that, compared to what I would say is GX's biggest like emphasis on like max speed grip style play, stuff like that where it's like very tight racing lines overall, where like that's kind of what it's best for, especially combined with like just the high gravity and magnetism to the track that you have. AX I like to see as the I basically describe it as like kind of like emphasizing the opposite end of how you would tune your vehicle for races like this. Whereas instead of max acceleration, the biggest benefit you get is from max acceleration. GX max speed, AX max acceleration. Best way to kind of sum that up. And we're going to put 2 credits in to start. Because first we have a choice. You could let the timer run out, or if I we don't have an license card, so we're just going to hold the accelerator. And then we can use an extra credit to create a license card, which gets into what this game was made for back in the day. This was like the early 2000s era of arcades, where Sega had basically created the idea of having like a card system, a magnetic card that you would scan onto the machine every time you were about to play, and that would allow you to track and record like your play data. You know, not like, so you were actually unlocking, actually having unlocks and progression in an arcade game, even when arcade games typically would just have that stuff unlocked or like out the gate, or require the machine overall to have like a set amount of playtime. So it gives us a random pilot and random assortment of custom machine parts, all of which are AX-specific parts. You aren't going to see any of the ones that come from GX. In fact, it is impossible to use the GX parts. But we got like the 6 AX tracks if you're familiar with playing the AX Cup, which means, yeah, we're going to be starting with Sonic Oval, the simplest track to start. We could choose our custom machine, or the SNES original pilots, or the 10 AX originals. We're going to go with Blue Falcon to start. You know? And like, if this was GX, we would go max speed, because that is the route that you would take, like, if you wanted to take advantage of all the of the advanced tech that GX has. But unfortunately, because of physics and handling changes, certain max speed strats just don't work in this game. Like MTS, Momentum Turbo Slide, is just not possible. But with max acceleration, we, with how this game is set up, we got access to a new trick. Alright. And that was the trick you saw right there, a super-powered drift, called the T-Drift. And best way I can describe it, how it's done, is that you break grip, which is done by tapping brake, so it's very similar to how you would go into a drift in any other arcade racer, and actually puts the brake function in F-Zero in a more interesting light, because it's something that you rarely use, if ever. You know, in X, you would like tap it for a brief second for like a form of speed control, because of how weak the gravity is on those tracks, and that it is possible to just fly off. Oh yeah, momentum throttling still exists in this game, if you want to go that route. See, like so. And I believe the MT points for vehicles is roughly the same as it would be in GX. Even though we are playing on max acceleration, which means that like our unboosted top speed is designed to be less than it would be on max speed. Yeah, see, look at that. That said, though, it is important to note. Ah, damn! I kind of fucked up. I should have been holding the. There we go. Yeah, it's better to do the MT like as you're coming out of the T-Drift. I feel like. Yeah. See, look at that. Target time cleared, and like I was already over 2,000 kilometers by the time I crossed the finish line. Like, this is what makes AX stand out. Because of the looser physics and the fact that it is way more possible. Like, if we're basing all this on, you know, the mechanics and, like the basic mechanics, not the advanced shit that is, like, figured out by speedrunners and whatnot. Like, the intended mechanics as based on what would be the default vehicle. The Blue Falcon, like, standard stats in this instance. Like, it is a lot easier to break grip without intentionally doing so in this game compared to how it is in GX. You know, it's a bit closer to how, you know, it is very easy to break grip in X, which is by design, you know? So we got quite a bit of pilot points, but not enough to start being able to buy new custom parts yet. But we will at some point. My route for this demonstration is I am going to go through all-time attack with Blue Falcon, ideally getting all target times cleared using the T-Drift, as you just saw. And then, ideally, I should get enough points and be lucky enough to get access to the specific custom parts I want. And then I will use a specific custom machine that fully takes advantage of the power of the T-Drift in race mode, which is like Grand Prix. Because right now, this machine is not it. Not at all. So, we're going to go from the very easy course to Screwdrive, which I always liked how Sonic Oval and Screwdrive are set up because they're very reminiscent of the design of, like, the very easy and easy courses from Scud Race. Where, like, very easy, it is just a straight, flat oval. And Screwdrive follows the same principle as, like, the beginner courses of Daytona, Scud Race, Daytona 2, where the idea is that most of the turns are easy, but there's a final hairpin turn where if you do not know how to do any sort of advanced turning move, you are going to hit the side of the railing every time, and you will not be able to finish the track. And also, like, you got varying lap times, laps amounts that you have to complete, actually. Also, there's a rocket start, if that wasn't evident. Like, I was not holding the accelerator until the timer started to. Yeah, this is a bit tough to actually talk about it now, considering, but yeah, but you got like some 2D F-Zero tech in this game. Like, you got rocket starts and you have blast turning. Well, and that's a spin attack. I did not mean to do that. That's done with, like, both triggers being held and moving the steering wheel in another direction. So yeah, it's not a dedicated button. Same for how it's done in the with the side attacks. You actually do it like you do in straight up every other F-Zero game, as intended, where you fucking double tap the straight button. That's how it should be. It's also very easy to get air, as you would expect. Yeah, see, like so. It's a much looser game, but that kind of makes it more exciting. Like, I get it's part of why people like GX, but I always find, like, after a point that, like, the physics are too tight. Yeah, I'm still not the best when it comes to figuring out, like, the right places and angles for T-Drifts, especially with Blue Falcon. But I should still be able to get the target time, I believe. Ooh, that was close. You saw that? I almost hit the railing. But yeah, there are just parts about how this game is set up that, because of how much more reminiscent it is of all the other F-Zeros, I kind of like it. Yo, how's it going, Sunri? You like F-Zero? I sure fucking love F-Zero. I'm doing my best talking about it while having to keep up with the pace of an arcade game. It's been going well, though.
Pilot points earned this time.
Yeah, definitely want to keep getting those target time bonuses because that's worth a lot of points. At least now we can acquire parts, so you get to see what the customization menu's like. So, okay. Alright, good. We can actually get the cockpit to start. So, yeah, you get a choice of 2 random body parts, 2 random cockpits, 2 random boost parts, and a pilot. I'll pick the Skull, because I feel like he's going to be the only one able to handle the ultimate vehicle that I want. But we want Dark Chaser as our cockpit. And we'll get the Skull. Oh yeah, and you can only choose one of the 2 cockpits available. Unfortunately, we don't have any of the booster or body parts that we actually need. So we'll have to get that on another one. Fortunately, like, I think the points we'll get from the next time trial will be able to let us access the part menu again. Because you need a minimum of 30,000 pilot points in order to access the customized menu. But yeah, like, two tracks on time trial done. 4 to go. If you're wondering if I had maybe practiced this a couple days before deciding to run this, you would be correct. Because of how I specifically want to demonstrate things. Like, if I could get my ideal customized vehicle for when I do the actual race mode, that is going to be a beautiful thing. Now we got outer space, target time 228. Playing AX, I think more than anything, gives you a better appreciation for the track design of the AX courses compared to the rest of the GX ones. Because when you play them in GX, they're kind of weird. Like, everything from like Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, and Diamond Cup all feel a lot like... You know, it's a Sega-developed game, but like the progression of like their design and like what they emphasize feels very Nintendo-like. These courses are very Sega Arcade Racer-like in their escalation and design. Like, they're built around the idea that you have this big-ass steering wheel, which is all mapped to the range of the analog stick on the GameCube, by the way, which means it is ultra-sensitive. Bit difficult to get like a handle of. But it is what it is. Wheel or controller? No, it's controller. I don't have any sort of controller to work with. So any racing wheel. I imagine you could get like a setup going where it would be doable on Dolphin, but I'm not doing that. I've gotten used to how this plays on a GameCube controller. That is like, I'm not gonna try anything else. Oh Jesus! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! God damn it! Well. That's what I get for trying to line up with that. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. I'm almost tempted to restart. I don't know, but, oh, god damn it. Ugh. This is bad. I feel like this might, even with T-Drift, I'm worried that this won't let me get my target time. You know, just to save time, I'm going to go back through here. T-Drift with boost shit. Yeah, like the right track is obviously meant to be much faster, but you miss out on the pit area. There we go. That was actually handled very well. This is the run. This is the run, believe it. Fuck, I actually forgot what the target time was. I think this is it. Yes, still got it. Game is at least forgiving in letting you respawn if you fall off the track or blow up your vehicle. I mean, God, see, look at that. Like, max speed, 27 kilometers per hour.
Ranking.
And this isn't even the best vehicle to do T-drifts with, by the way. Like, I am not kidding when I say that there is still more power to be achieved with the T-drift depending on the vehicle. And in the best case, you need a custom-made one. But yeah, with all the target times we're hitting, we're just like skipping over entire pilot ranks. Gone from 8 to 6. Alright. Oh, I think we got the booster too. Yeah, unfortunately, neither of these are the body we want. But Euros 01, we could definitely get that. So now we just gotta hope in the next 3 courses that we can get the right body part I need. Oh yeah, and you can tell that this was an arcade game from like the early 2000s, because if you wanted to put your best time on the internet rankings, you had to input a password on a website. I love old tech solutions to problems that we have clearly solved.
By inputting data.
Yep. Good old password system. Dark Crab. Eventually it'll become a Dark Condor. Or Grampus, depending. But anyway, yeah, target time 226 for Cylinder Wave. Quite possibly the most bizarre cylinder pipe ever conceived in an F-Zero game. Because in any other cylinder track, be it an X or GX, the cylinder itself is designed to be like a perfect circle in terms of like its circumference, radius, or whatever you call it. But here, the cylinder is much more oval-like. In GX, it's kind of weird and frustrating, but with how AX controls, based on what you've seen with the T-Drift, that actually makes this kind of ideal. Assuming that you get it right and you do not get flung into the air pointlessly. Like so, yeah? Yeah, but that's kind of difficult, as you would expect. Yeah. Obviously easier to do once you've got, like, the more powerful vehicles for T-drifting. You see, look at that, because it's like if you know, that something's coming up that can use it, like, you've got no reason to need to use a dash plate. That said, though, it is very difficult to like, keep yourself on the correct part of the track because of just how fucking loose these physics are. Wait, what the hell? I guess I accidentally held the brake for too long on that. Ah, shit, whatever. Yeah, we'll just go with that. Fortunately, with it being a cylinder, you don't need to worry about crashing out. That's the best part. Yeah, God, I do wish that, like, none of the arcades I was able to go to during my time in Washington had this, and that still made me kind of sad. But I'm at least glad that I have, like, the ability to play this at home through a modded Wii. There we go. Because I still remember back in the day, like when I got GX on my GameCube and like knew about, even before, months before it came out, the existence of an arcade version. And I remember That game is awesome, but like as a kid, trying to unlock everything in that game made me kind of resentful of the fact that the easier way to unlock the AX parts and the AX racers was to find an arcade cabinet and bring my GameCube memory card to load the data onto it. You know? But I didn't have that growing up in Alaska, so I had to make do with the fact that I was just not good enough to play through that bullshit story mode on its highest difficulties. Still not the part that I'm looking for. Yeah, well... Don't worry, we'll get it another time. Because, like, we need, like, a part that'll be, like, of a light enough weight for it to be worth doing. Like the... Yeah, it's like the lower the grip and, like, the lighter the body, the better it will be for maximizing the power of T-Drift. Be so salty if I went off track and I ran out of money. Yeah. Alright. Gonna continue with Time Attack. Getting to straight up the best AX track. And honestly, like one of my favorite F-Zero tracks ever. Especially in GX, and it's Thunder Road. Because whether you're playing with GX physics or AX physics, this is a fun track for giving you a lot of opportunities to flex your advanced tech. Because what do GX and AX have in common? They have advanced tech that is all about gaining an absurd amount of speed when successfully taking turns. There are a lot of sharp, like 90-degree turns on average in this track. So of course we're going to try and take advantage of it in 3 minutes and 42 seconds.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yep. Oh, that's right. I should have done the MT a little bit more. And a lot of refill areas as well that make it a lot easier to keep boost chains going if that's your thing. So, like, even though max acceleration is the way to go in AX, like, if you know what you're doing, you can still accomplish quite a bit with max speed. Because the game is going to give you a lot of refill areas to keep your energy topped off. Ah, damn it, I missed the boost plate. Don't worry, boost laps are going to get way more interesting now. Whoops. Ah, fuck. Yeah, see, like so. You still gotta be very careful when it comes to these, Oh yeah, look at that, and side attack dives still work. See, so like the physics aren't completely different from how it would be in GX. It's just, like the really good stuff, like momentum turbo slides are just not doable in this because of the physics changes. Playing that new F-Zero on Switch. Yeah, I've been checking in with 99 every now and then. Like, multiplayer-focused F-Zero ain't, like, my main thing, but like, it's really cool, though. Like, it's funny how I saw people just kind of being like, oh, this is a fucking insult. How dare they do this instead of like a, not even a new game, like people just be, how dare they do this instead of giving me my F-Zero GX remaster? And I'm like, that's boring. Like, especially with how F-Zero 99 is doing things, like, it's actually making a very good, like, test case for the idea of, like, a survival Grand Prix mode in a future game. Something where, like, they could definitely get away with doing, like, an increased player count compared to the usual 30. I didn't quite hit the T-drift right there, but whatever. Still gonna hit the target time. Got it. Yeah. Like, if anything, I think F-Zero 99 is definitely kind of proven. I think what I've always felt like was the sort of thing that was missing and not what people feared it always was, because people always remember that fucking interview with Miyamoto about, like, the reason he gave for, like, why they didn't make, like, haven't made a new F-Zero, because they felt it's been really difficult to find a new hook for it. And because it was in the wake of Star Fox Zero, they assumed that the hook he was trying to find is something that would have fucked up, like, the whole control gameplay elements of F-Zero. When in reality, it's like, no, they understand that the gameplay of F-Zero is what it should be. The problem is that they need, like, some new modes or features that extend beyond simply providing, oh, there it is, we got our body part right there. Brave Eagle, we have now become Dark Condor. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the like the hook for F-Zero doesn't need to be, like, gameplay control related. It just needs to be, like, feature sets. Like, features that are ideally backed by what technology is capable of providing now. Which I definitely think with how you see a lot more multiplayer games these days that are able to have absurdly high player counts, literally the basis of Battle Royale games, like, that is a no-brainer for F-Zero. It's just the question is, how do you make that work with how F-Zero is already established by these previous games? And I think 99 actually does a pretty good job of demonstrating that for Mode 7 F-Zero. For full 3D F-Zero, I think there's still obviously a lot more work that would need to be done. But you wouldn't have to, like, radically change too much from, I think, what 99 is currently presenting people with. Like, that game's a banger, all things considered, and I'm definitely hopeful that they're gonna keep going with, like, adding more content and modes to that game, even beyond adding in the remaining leagues from the original F-Zero, because this weekend they finally added the Queen League tracks, so that Grand Prix is now there. It's gonna be a few more weeks, however long, until King Cup is there. And my hope after that, this will be a deep cut on Nintendo's part, but hopefully they would remember it exists. But I would hope that they bring the BS F-Zero, like the Satellaview broadcast F-Zero tracks into 99. I think that would be killer, in addition to what seems to be stuff that was data mined that implied that there's, like, extra modes that may be coming, like a proper death race mode, or even an arcade where you have to, like, run through checkpoints on a track, kind of like this game, funny enough. Yeah, I do feel, in a way, like, more hopeful for the future of F-Zero now because of 99 than I probably would have been. Oh, damn it, I held the brake button for too long. Shit. Yeah, that's the important part when you're trying to break grip with brake. You better not hold it for too long. right. I should have blast turned there. I'm an idiot. But that's okay. We got more turns coming up that'll be perfect for T-Drift. Like so. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. I could have blast turned right before hitting that. Now then. As you might imagine, this is definitely the hardest track to try and get like some proper T-Drift chains. Ah, damn it. On if you're not using a custom vehicle. Because the turns are very awkward. They're still pretty generous with the refillers, all things considered. Oh, damn it. You don't really have like a good opening to like MT coming out of that drift at all. You got a blast turn. Which is a shame because of how weird GX and AX are about like trying to limit you to your speed cap as much as possible, which is why MT even exists at all. Because if you hold that accelerator, what happens is that if you're above your top speed, the game will just exponentially make your speed drop down to like its unboosted top speed. Yeah, see, like that's actually a good spot to try and do like a proper MT coming out of a drift. Okay, you can see how chaining like mini T-drifts by itself has its purposes, and if it looks to you very briefly like doing snaking in GX, it kind of does look like that, but at least it's not murder on your hands, which has always been like the problem I've had when it comes to like if we have to talk about advanced tech in GX, and kind of like one of the reasons why I don't consider the game to be like the best or my favorite at least is that I don't like how lopsided GX's like high level play is towards max speed in terms of just the amount of techniques you have to work with that are exclusive to that mode, whereas in max acceleration the only exclusive tech you have to work with there is snaking, and while impressive to look at, you absolutely know that that entire method of play is damaging to your hands. I don't like advanced tech where like there is a potential physical detriment to my body just for doing it. There we go, one class. Alright. Okay, so we got all of our parts, and we got our pilot of choice. My other option would have been Mighty Gazelle, but I figure an undead skeleton man who just wants to race forever. Your hand damage is why I play Zangief in SF6 right now. Oh, I see. Just I guess just like the grapple motions and whatnot are just like is it just like the motions for grappling, or is it just things with this combo route that are a lot less strenuous, or just stuff with this game plan, I guess. Admittedly, I've not seen much of Zangief because of the friends we have. Like I've often seen more of like Cammy and Chun-Li and JP, so I kind of have like a general idea of kind of like how those are being played. But now that time attack is all done, let's go into the race proper with our custom machine. Easy combo routes, but also slower pace. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So race mode is like Grand Prix, but you only do one race. You know, you're not doing all 6 in a row. It's not the Grand Prix mode from GX because this is abiding by Sega arcade racing game rules. So let's go all the way back to Sonic Oval. And I want you to be ready for what I am going to do with this custom machine right here. The Dark Condor. And let's go with gold, because I think like that matches up nicely with the Skull's current color scheme. So, like, the thing about T-Drift, and that it can potentially be done with other vehicles, but its effectiveness varies because of things to do with, like, weight and grip level. We have a low grip vehicle that is extremely light, so what do you think is going to happen? Ludicrous speed! Go! Look at the skull visibly shaking! No human could ever handle this many Gs! See, because of the low grip, it means even if I counter steer, like, it could be light or minimal, or like medium counter steering, it won't be enough to, like, cause it to regain grip. So that is how I am able to go to absurd speeds! Assuming that I do not go flying off whatsoever. Or hit a wall. But, like, look at how many of these vehicles I am lapping. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Maybe a bit too fast. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, God. Does it break the game? Yes. Is it fun? Even more so. Look at that. Sub 10-second lap time. This game is stupid. I love it. Oh, man. And everyone else is still running. God. That said, though, because of the track designs, naturally, the ones after this are not going to be nearly as free. But yeah, I gotta skip that because having practiced this, it should be possible. But like, we'll get a special congratulations scene once we have finished first on all of these tracks in race mode. But that is the power of the T-Drift. That is what it is truly capable of. There's another part that you can use. It's called the Heat Grampus or whatever it is, but like it's well no, it's like Heat Grampus is the name of like a combine of a total vehicle with specific combined parts. But there is another like low body rank part that totally can that is totally viable as well. I've just stuck with Dark Condor because I've had better luck getting the Brave Eagle parts to make it work much faster than the other part that you need for Dark Grampus. Which is a goofy-ass name. Oh, man. Let's do this. So with that powerful T-Drift, naturally this is going to make Screwdrive a lot more optimal, I am going to say.
Original machine. Grab console performance center.
I will say, after I finish this stream, I definitely think I'm gonna get it in me to try and beat the game, beat all the tracks on this game again, using all of like the stock vehicles that are available, because I do want to try again. Just whoop. There we go. See ya, fuckers. Oh, yeah, that's still very dangerous, as you would imagine. But yeah, you actually want to let off on that because there's a bit of a bump on that. On that particular split of the track. Whoops. Yeah, whatever. I'm still way ahead of everyone. And I've started to lap everyone. And see, the great part about the T-Drift is that if you're very good and strategic with it, you barely need to use, like, the refillers for anything. You don't need to hit every single one if possible. And then, of course, just do, like, make use of your momentum throttling during the sections where you actually need to level out. And it's all good. I should have T-drift through that, actually. I just realized, but whatever. Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck! No! That's okay. I'm still ahead. I think I am. Yes. Never mind. We're still gold. The beauty of F-Zero AX and going really, really fast is you never know how much, like, lack of gravity is going to fucking, like, destroy you by breaking past 2,000 kilometers per hour on average. Almost a gag. Yeah, yep. Very much so. Oh, man. Yeah, seriously, I just want to go back through this game again with all the regular vehicles, try and get first on every single track. But at the same time, I'm also going back through fucking F-Zero X. Now that I have finally cracked the code on how to beat that game on master difficulty, I got like something unlocked in my brain that makes me like I want to beat it with every single vehicle, of which there are 30. Oh yeah, and here's actually you know what? We'll go with Dark Grampus because it is lighter. The body rank is lower. It's now ultralight class, so we'll go with that. Full on E ranks across the board. We'll see how that goes. It does make it somewhat less durable, but it's whatever. Love when a game opens up like that to where you want to fully complete them. Yeah, definitely. And it's the sort of thing where, like, with X in particular, like, the AI on Master is straight up mean. It's not as mean as GX AI on Master difficulty when you're going through Grand Prix, but it's still really brutal. And, like, having to just throw myself against it finally got me to unlock some of the advanced tech that I had been, you know, not as good at in the past. And also just, like, upping my game in terms of max acceleration playstyle and taking advantage of boost drifts and things like that. So, like, once I finally figured that out and got through it the first time as Blue Falcon, it was like, fuck, I want to do this with every vehicle now. Because now I have not only the track knowledge, but I also have a full understanding of how the AI works. And how to, you know, if I take my turns and my boost patterns just right, I can still pull out ahead of its absurd rubber banding. AX, as you can see, its AI is definitely not as good as that. I think I've heard it described that the AI difficulty in AX is equivalent to expert in GX, which is totally doable, all things considered. There it is. Oh god, yeah. Yeah, just the biggest enemy when it comes to T-Drift always is your, is anytime you get air. Like, that's it. Like, as soon as that happens, you just gotta stop trying to hold the buttons you were using for the drift and just go straight into normal flying. Because, like, if you're still holding it when you hit the ground, you're not gonna go back into your T-Drift. Well, like so. When your muscle memory and your decision making sync up, definitely. That do be how it is. Okay, we're gonna be bold. We're gonna avoid that that refiller on all these laps. Oh, look at that. That was a smooth tunnel. Because, like, these blue tunnels just straight up cause you to lose traction if you so much as, like, try and turn. Yeah, well, we got this. We got this. That was not the smoothest path through the tunnel that I could have, but whatever. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Well, we're still far and ahead. Let's go. All right. Another first place run. God.
Current race results.
But yeah, I just love how these AX tracks are specifically doing things that you really don't see any of the regular tracks from GX do. Like an entire pipe tunnel where the fucking like the entire surface is coated with like that blue tile that's designed to make you lose grip. Like, you don't ever see that happen. It's the sort of thing where like if I have to kind of like hold something against GX with this track design, is that like I find myself overall disappointed with the cylinder, pipe, and half pipe tracks that those games have. That game has, rather. Like, compared to how it is in X, where the cylinders are so small in their diameter, on average, that it's like, you know, it can either work for you or against you, but it is very easy to break free of the gravity of those pipes. And if you know how to take advantage of, like, air mobility, you could skip over, like, huge sections of the track and pull ahead of the competition. But the only full cylinder track in GX, besides Cylinder Knot, obviously, which we're going to do next, is, like, that cylinder is so fucking huge that, like, any air that you can get, you just reattach very quickly. It's kind of dull. GX's track design in general just has a feeling of being way more wide, is something that I've come to realize. AX as well, but at least in AX I can kind of understand the reason for that because of how they set up the hazards, and it's meant for you to be playing this with like a steering wheel type apparatus instead of a very fine analog stick. But you know, going back to the idea of F-Zero 99 and a brand new original game having a 99 player count, having tracks that are as wide as some of the stuff you see in GX and AX could actually make a lot more sense and be dangerous. Which, I like that. The more dangerous it feels racing in F-Zero, the better and more exciting. Now this is... yeah, this is going to be... on some turns, you're going to see that I do a lot better job with the T-Drift using Dark Grampus compared to Blue Falcon. Well, besides that part. Ah, damn it, I missed that. And I mean, look at that. Even that cylinder, like, the way it closes, it's actually weirdly reminiscent of how it would be in F-Zero X Original. So it's like, what the hell? Why couldn't GX do that when it came to Firefield? Ah, whatever. Whoa! Oh, he should have been... Well, no. Like, that is actually tricky because of the angle it throws you off if you're not directly on, like, the... on like, the light gray part, as it were, light bronze. Because it is... like, when you fly off, you're not going to go completely straight. Like, you will angle and veer off that you could potentially miss the landing part of the track. But yeah, like, you ideally want to be as close to that as possible. Ah, man, whatever. I still beat them. First place. All right.
Current race results.
Everything's been going very well so far. All that practice earlier in the week definitely paid off. But now it's time for, once again, my favorite track in AX, Thunder Road, coming up. Look at that S-Class. Oh yeah, and here's the, oh wait, no, that's not it actually. I forgot. It's like another cockpit part that you get that turns it from Dark Grampus into Heat Grampus. That's like apparently another AX exclusive custom vehicle you can make that is similarly good for T-drifting.
By inputting data with the part.
Only thing that's kind of annoying, admittedly, with like running this game on Nintendo, and you've been seeing it quite a bit, is just the periodic hitching that this game has. Because of any time you play this with like the license card enabled, like during any moment where the game expects you to scan it, if this were the original cabinet, it causes the game to kind of like hitch for a second as it is reading that data. Because on Nintendo, it's literally just reading a bin file that has all that information. Like you have like the ax.bin file for like just the basic system info, and then you have like a separate bin file that's for your license card. And unfortunately, kind of no matter what, the people behind Nintendo clearly don't care anymore about trying to make it work, but the GameCube memory card functionality of the AX cabinets is not something that can be replicated on Nintendo's. So if you thought this could be a way to get that experience of unlocking the AX parts and machines on GX the easy way, tough shit, you can't. So that's just how it is.
Thunder Road. Lap 3.
All right. Time for this one. Oh, yeah. Ah, damn it. Ah, crap. Yeah, I hate when you just nudge the, like, just straight up, like, nudge the, like, the walls like that. Well. Ah, damn it. Well, okay. I fucked up my chance to... Or not. Yeah. This is not a good stretch of road to T-Drift, naturally. But... This, however... Yeah, like so. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That was as smooth as you could ever hope for it to be. Ah, damn it. Fuck. Yeah, this is one of those situations where you definitely wish you had something like the steering wheel from the cabinet. Whoops. That's okay. We got a refiller coming up. Ah. Trying to T-drift is like through like through that zigzag is such a specific line that you have to hit. How much do you typically practice these tracks? Not that much, actually. Like, really, the thing with T-drifting is that, like, once you get, like, the basics for the inputs and how you're supposed to do it, it's like, it comes fairly naturally as far as the, as far as when to use it. It's just, like, put simply, T-drifting is a mechanic where... Like, the execution, when you understand the inputs, is easy. It's the optimization that's difficult. And for the purposes of race mode, you don't need to optimize T-Drift that much in order to succeed. Ah, damn it. That was a bad drift. I started it too early. And I took that turn too hard. Yeah, like the thing is, especially with like the track layouts itself, it's easy enough to practice them and learn just like how sharp all the turns are because you can just play GX. These tracks are all on there anyway. It's just with the particular physics, you know, it won't be entirely the same. Like I definitely, like the way I found out about T-Drift though, ultimately was, I forget like the new name of the channel because she had changed it recently, but it's like a F-Zero player formerly by the name Yoshi Fan has actually had like quite a number of videos in the past playing F-Zero AX on Nintendo, and actually has a tutorial video on the concept of T-Drift and how it works, and that's where I learned about it. Yeah. But yeah, as it stands, it's like, if I were to practice these tracks a lot more, it would be for the purposes of trying to set the absolute best, like, lap records that I could in time attack mode. But, I don't really feel that need to do it so much. I mean, like, these, like, compared to other Sega arcade racers, this is definitely one of the ones where I've had the easiest amount of time coming to grips with it. Stuff like both Daytona USA and Scud Racer have like a lot of specific like quirks with like how their vehicle handling is done, that you kind of need to do a lot of practice on those games to get around the fact that like your turning radius is intentionally stiff. This, meanwhile, is a game where you have a pretty sensitive turning radius, and it is very easy to break grip and like lose traction, especially if you're and speed if you're playing on max speed settings. But just keeping it under control is kind of like where like the real technique lies. But here we are, Green Plant, Spiral, final race. And then we'll let the actual congratulations screen play, because it should, based on the 2 times that I have practiced this leading up to the stream, it should actually play the credits. Now then, let's see how hard T-drifting is when we got 29 other racers trying to get in our way. One thing that will be even more important when it comes to this, because of how fast we go, is the use of blast turning. Oh, should have let go of that, actually. Whoop! Oh, shit. Whoops. Yep, that was important. God, look at how far behind they are, actually. That's hilarious.
Time extension. You got boost power.
Even T-drifting on the inside of pipes is actually kind of weird because of how, depending on the angle you go, you're not going to be able to go as straight as you possibly could on it. Whatever. Let's just actually focus so that I do not die. There we go. Ah, fuck. I'm still kind of bad at, like, handling that specific turn. I know, like, the right place for doing, like, the T-drift, but it's very difficult, like, coming out of it. Yeah!
Time extension. Yeah, the final lap.
Yeah, ideally, because of how that type turns, you actually want to do like a T-drift and hold it like going to the left. Can I? Ah, damn it, I can't. There is a way to like skip that like first drop actually, and just go straight to like the bottom. But whatever. Clutch time, yeah. Yeah, I think it. You know what I think it is? I think it's with that last turn before the boost plate. It's hard for me to like come out of it like cleanly because I am chaining a bunch of mini T-drifts leading up to it. There we go. Look at that. All tracks, time attack, and race completed. All time attacks with Blue Falcon, all races with Dark... Well, initially Dark Condor, but then finished it with Dark Krampus. Point is, I got to show off the power of the T-Drift at its fullest, and it is a beautiful thing. Now let's have our celebration with Captain Falcon's theme for whatever reason. Ah, Nagoshi. Look at all these people that clearly went on to make the Yakuza series. Ah, what a good game. Yeah, Amusement Vision was like a former arcade development slash console team at Sega that was headed by Nagoshi, who used to work at AM2, so there's that lineage. But then, yeah, Nagoshi and these guys, after AV folded in the mid-2000s, they made the Yakuza games. Now look at that. The winner of the Grand Prix is an undead skeleton. Also, there's a cyborg and a diva. God, I love the cast of F-Zero. It is as diverse as it is fucking goofy. It's like it's the best thing about it.
Pilot points earned this time.
There you go. S-Class, double S-Class.
Congratulations.
Okay. God, what a hell of a run. Honestly, I kind of feel like it was fun trying out the Dark Grampus, but I honestly feel like switching back to Dark Condor because I really do like just the way that this machine looks, which says a lot considering how I generally have never been a fan of like how the custom machines are made to look in GX because of the fact that they're like completely separate discrete parts, which doesn't really line up at all with how the other F-Zero machines look. They very much look like they have like a singular body. Like look at the Blue Falcon, for instance. You can tell that whole thing is the body, and the cockpit and boosters are all built into it. They're not attached to like the outside of it, which has always been kind of the problem. Funny enough, F-Zero X expansion kit has its own vehicle editor, and that one is more in line with what I actually want because it's based around, you take a body part which encompasses the entire vehicle, and then like the cockpit and well no, actually the way it works is that the body also has like the booster designs as well, I think. And then you have the cockpit, which is built into the mesh, and it adjusts the size of the mesh around the cockpit to fit it dynamically. And then you have like fins, which are or accessories, something like that, which are like external things that add to it, like wings and whatnot. And you can manually select your body boost and grip ratings within reason. The only thing that's ultimately determined by the parts you select, the physical parts themselves, is the weight. I actually like that system a lot more. The only thing that holds it back is that there are way too little parts to actually work with.
F-Zero license card.
But yeah, it's like X original with the expansion kit is still the peak. GX is really, really good, as well as AX. Like this has always been like kind of the frustrating thing I feel whenever I see F-Zero discussion come up, or when I try to talk about it. It always feels like people go into the discussion with like a sort of dismissal where they're like, GX is the only one that matters. But it's like, no, motherfucker. Like, all these games are good at the bare minimum. In fact, you know what? I'm actually going to show something. I just kind of did this out of boredom. Mainly because of, like, Soonery, because of a friend of ours, Gags. Just anytime that we've been hanging out in voice chat, he's just been, like, during, like, the wee hours of the night being like, let's just pull up a random tier list and just, like, put something together. And I did one for myself on my own time with the F-Zero games. And yes, I'm using his categories because it's gotten in my brain now. So we got Dick Riding, Elite, Banger, Bare Minimum Good, and I put in the special category for Doesn't Counts because seriously, who counts Twister Race and Zero Racers? The last one's a fucking Virtual Boy game. No one's played that. But yes, like, non-canon. Basically, yeah. But you got, you know, X and the Expansion Kit are in Dick Riding because they are that phenomenal. It's still kind of like the ideal for me as far as, like, track design, vehicle handling, advanced tech possibilities, just raw content. Especially with it being, like, user-generated content is the idea, you know? Because Expansion Kit gives you both a vehicle editor and a track editor. Elite is then, obviously, as you can see, occupied by AX and GX. The placement of AX and GX are so close that, like, I kind of swap them around depending on my mood. And as you might expect, my mood currently is more in favor of AX. But then you have Climax, which is, that is the peak of the Mode 7 style of F-Zero games. Like, that is amazing, and it is such a crime that it is, A, that it has to be based on the shitty anime, and B, that it is Japan only. And it was the last F-Zero game ever made, until 99. And then Banger is GP Legend, and BS F-Zero Grand Prix 2, which, admittedly, that one's kind of weird, because the actual broadcast to Teleview Grand Prix 2, that, like, those, like, backups of those ROMs have still not been found to my knowledge. This one was, like, specifically, that start screen you see was specifically for, like, for a practice cart that you could download that would let you practice new tracks that were actually featured in the first BS F-Zero Grand Prix that you see below. So it's weird. It's more like, the way I look at it is that it's basically the bonus fourth league to the SNES F-Zero, which is at the top of Bare Minimum Good. You know, if it were possible to combine both of these, then original F-Zero could have absolutely been a banger. But as it is, it's like, it's 3 cups with 5 tracks each, and it's like the start of it. But I at least am more into it than BS F-Zero Grand Prix because of how the historical context is interesting, but playing it without, like, the original context of you downloaded the game data over satellite radio, and then through satellite radio you had live commentators and music, like CD quality music for that matter, just being broadcast into your home as you were basically doing a bunch of, like, time attacks, like seeing, like, what's the best lap time you could set, and then based on your score you could fax it in to the company that was, like, organizing these events. And then Maximum Velocity is, like, at the bottom just because it's like, yeah, it's comparable to SNES F-Zero, but it's got vehicles and tracks that are just not as memorable. So that's how it is. That's how I rate it. That is my definitive F-Zero tier list. It is foolproof. Everyone else's is wrong, especially the motherfuckers that try and say that GX and X should be swapped. Especially when they've not even played all these other ones. They probably haven't even played X. They probably haven't even played GX, in all honesty. They're just saying it for the same reason that people say that, like, Third Strike is the best fighting game. You know damn well that they either have not played it at all, or they have not played it to a degree where they actually understand why the people that like it would say it's the best. Like, I would at least say, I have more reason to believe someone if they think GX is the best if they are, like, a god at the game in, like, max speed category or snaking. Or, okay, you know, maybe not a god. You know, that's maybe a bit too high. Just somewhere at my level where I at least understand the theory behind why those techniques work, and I can at least do them in some capacity. Third Strike preachers annoy me so much. Yes, thank you. You understand me. Like, this is a very similar situation. It's also why, like, I have been on and on about how people that have been asking for like a remaster of GX as if that's all they ever would want out of the series instead of a new game is completely insane. Like, you can't expect a series like this to be able to persist by just re-releasing the exact same fan favorite game over and over. But whatever. Point is, I fucking love F-Zero. That goes without saying. And glad that I was able to just do this run perfectly on air. And I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon pretty much just going through all the time attack and race mode again, but with the non-custom vehicles, because I want to test myself again. I want to see, like, again, like what the potential for T-drifting is with all the others. I already know Magic Seagull is like the de facto worst one for it, and Fat Shark is the best. Weirdly enough. It's funny. Fat Shark is like one of, if not the best vehicle in GX. And it also happens to be the best vehicle in this game too. It's weird how that works out. But, yeah. As far as like stream plans going into October, Year of the Mecha is obviously going to continue. The next one being a week from now. And I'm actually going to, start another solo game playthrough that'll go in between that. Because I need something that I know will be guaranteed to run better than Turbo Overkill when OBS is running. So I'll look forward to an N64 cult classic. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, have a good rest of your weekend, everyone. Horror mecha game? Oh man, could you imagine? Could you imagine if there was a mecha game where it was like the horror that you have to balance is the fact that like the more you pilot the machine, the more that you start to fuse with it and it turns into like a Tetsuo the Iron Man body horror scenario? Fuck, that should exist. Also, hold on, I just realized what I described there, that's just Getter Robo. That's what happens when you become way in sync with the Getter and are just imbued with all those Getter rays. You just become one with the machine. Holy shit. Anyway, yeah, the gaming question, I'm planning on playing Mystical Ninja starring Goemon, because it's been a long time since I played that game. I'm due for another replay, and that's a nice, charming, feel-good, game to play. There's probably not going to be a horror game for October, if I'm going to be honest. I've already expended, like, my times playing Eternal Darkness and Resident Evil 4 on stream, so that's it. Have a good rest of the weekend, folks. Take care.